Welcome to Tech Talks here with Jeremy Hyman as usual. Jeremy, you advise accounting firms on all kinds of things, particularly in technology. And the question a lot of firms are asking right now is, what does the new normal look like in terms of where do we work? And are there any pros and cons from having your people office-based or home-based in terms of what they get done and perhaps how collaborative they are?
I think the easy answer is that everyone can do everything from everywhere. But that is a technologist's answer, and it's not necessarily a managing partner's answer.
Yeah.
And a good advisor to the professional services sector really needs to take that into account. I think that the office really is likely to change the nature of what it's used for. I don't believe we're not going to have offices. I think that spontaneous collaboration, right? The looking over someone's shoulder from a safe social distance.
Those corridor and kitchen conversations by the water cooler, if you like, they don't happen, do they, at home?
They don't. If you're at home, you don't really have spontaneous conversations. There's always a kind of a mild thought that everything that you do is audited, is tracked, is recorded.
Yeah.
And so perhaps you are a little more measured in what you might say versus a quick word with someone somewhere, which can be, frankly, the spark of genius. And that can be doused by everyone being remote. So here I am as a technologist saying, actually, we do need to be in the office.
Yeah.
But I think that I see the office as a place to share ideas and to grow and to help one another. I think the big change is I don't see it necessarily as a factory floor, as a production center.
Yeah, that's a really good point. But we do know that people can be productive at home, can't they?
Absolutely. I mean, I find myself highly productive at home. Some of it is a matter of attitude, some of it is a matter of, I guess, seniority, whatever the criteria are.
Yeah.
I think what's important for firms moving forward is to respect all environments and to try and get the most out of each. So if you think about the office, let's emphasize that it's a place for collaboration, for spontaneity, for working together and developing new ideas and solving problems. Let's look at home space and make sure that people who are productive at home are well equipped to work at home and have got everything that they need. The firm shouldn't really mind. It should be focused on the outputs that people generate, not how they do it necessarily.
But I wonder, in some firms you advise whether they want to make it a commercial decision. Let's close down some offices. Let's move away from these big rental agreements where we're paying for real estate that's not really being used.
We have certainly seen almost universally across our client base a reduction in office space or in expected commitment to office space. So I have one client that took £500,000 a year out of their costs by deciding to not renew a lease. So there are definite examples of that, but they didn't, interestingly, completely remove all office space from their estate. So it was a contraction, it was a real look at who had to be where, but it was still retaining an office presence in the heart of that.
Yeah. And finally, security, which used to be an issue with working from home, that's no longer on the agenda, is it? We've got through that one.
We have, but it's interesting that not all firms have adopted the appropriate level of security to deal with that. So the fact that solutions are available does not necessarily mean that every firm has bought the appropriate solution to their security needs. I think it's less of an issue, but at the same time, security risks have grown. And so you always have to be on your guard and you always have to be ready to defend against.
Yeah, well, Jeremy Hyman, that's been great. We'll see you on the next episode of Tech Talks. Thank you.
Thank you.